The Padres lose 7-5 yesterday after mounting a little bit of a comeback of getting down 7-0 early on. Nestor Cortez getting roughed up. The Dodgers lost as well. They will be playing today against Paul Skeens with Blake Snell on the mound. And today is the day. The NFL is back. Cowboys, Eagles, live from Philly. The spread has been bet up from 6.5 before the Michael Parsons trade to 8.5 in favor of Philly after it. The point total is currently set at 47.5. There's been some action on it considering it is pouring rain in Philly. Life doesn't wait, neither should you. Aleve can help you deal with pain less throughout your day with just one pill. Aleve lasts up to 12 hours. Don't let those aches and pains hold you back from doing what's important to you. Use as directed.
Oh, it is a beautiful day today. It is Thursday. It is San Diego, and football is back. Philadelphia Eagles, Dallas Cowboys. We've been waiting for a long time to say those words, man. We started this countdown around 90-something days. We got excited around 40 days, and today is the day, folks. NFL football will be back. You'll hear it tonight right here on San Diego Sports 760. Philadelphia Eagles, Dallas Cowboys tonight in Philly. Banner ceremony, ring ceremony, and football will be played. Players will be hit. Touchdowns might not be thrown. Pretty rainy day out in Philadelphia today. We're actually going to head out to Philadelphia at 12:30 to talk to Eytan Shander, who's been covering the Eagles for a long, long time. Cannot wait for that. Coach Kentera will stop by for his weekly appointment, 1:30 today, like he joins us on every single Thursday. The coach, John Kentera, is going to be stopping by, and we're going to talk about this Padres team, which, my God, yesterday was felt like rock bottom a little bit. Playing against the Orioles, starting pitching has been such a big concern. Lots of hopes and dreams were on Nestor Cortez yesterday to come out there and just give the Padres something, and he did not. Now, the Padres did mount a little bit of a comeback, ended up scoring 5 runs, but not enough after Nestor Cortez gave up back-to-back to, was it 3? Back-to-back?
Yes.
3 straight home runs in the 3rd inning. Rough day for the Padres. Ben Fletcher, Sammy Long, we're with you till 2 o'clock. Busy show today. 2 guests. Plus the most important long shots of our entire lives. All of that coming within the next 2 hours. Sammy and I have spent the last probably 30 minutes going over our NFL season-long predictions for long shots, and that's coming up at 12:45. Sammy, how do you feel about our lineup? Because I love it.
I'm very excited. I'm excited football's back. This is like Christmas. It is the greatest day of the year. We're through the summer, which is very sluggish. You know, now you're getting into meaningful baseball. Basketball's right around the corner. NFL's back. Just the best time of year. I'm feeling good about our selections. We got a couple listener picks as well, which we're excited for. But yeah, make sure to tune in at 12:45 because we have a season-long NFL lineup coming your way.
6 players.
Yeah. Was that a question? 6 players?
That's a statement. 6 players. And I'm throwing 50 on it, which is going to win me around $1,875 when, of course, it does cash at the end of the NFL season. Cannot wait for it. Where are you watching the game tonight? Are you alone in your house just watching on the TV?
We're at the house. I think a couple of the boys coming over. We're very excited. What about you?
I'm actually heading down to Bub's in the gas lamp. Got one of my buddies from preschool who's in San Diego right now. Okay. Huge NFL fan. We're in a league together for fantasy. So we're going to head down, get a couple drinks, get some tots, watch the game down in the gas lamp with the people.
I'm so excited. I mean, this game, we talked about yesterday. The sportsbooks are reporting it is going to be one of the most bet games of all time.
I can't wait for it.
There's hundreds of millions of dollars bet on just this game tonight, not even counting the weekend. The lines have been moving all over the place. Been 6.5 to 8.5. Now it's back down to 8. Tonight it's going to be electric.
760 already texting in saying FedEx Trey here. And boys, 5 straight days of football. God bless. It's finally
Amen.
Here. What up, Trey? Hope your FedEx route's going okay. I got a package coming later today. Maybe it's you that's dropping it off.
Trey, yes, it is that time. I know we have football all weekend.
All weekend.
We
Today, tomorrow, Saturday, Sunday.
We got Chiefs Chargers tomorrow. College football Saturday. Oh, it's the greatest.
It's so good. I don't even want to dampen this conversation right now with what I want to say about the San Diego Padres.
No, let's talk about how dreadful they are.
I think we should just get to the big 3 right now, and then we'll talk about the Padres coming up in like 10 minutes because we need some time to marinate. This is a happy segment. The only thing that makes it a little bit sad is that it is raining in Philadelphia. So I think that what I was predicting a couple days ago of a massive air attack from the Dallas Cowboys and then Philly trying to slow the game down might not be what happens tonight.
You're looking at this wrong.
This
is
favors
good
Philadelphia.
this is good for the over-under in Vegas.
But it for sure favors Philadelphia in this one. If this turns into a ground and pound slugfest, Philly wins this no matter what. Dallas had a chance if it was going to be an air it out, throw it out.
I think this game is going to be a lot closer than people give them credit for.
Ooh, all right. Well, let's get to the big three of our number one. Sammy Long rips through the top stories in the world of sports. Sammy, smash it.
Your lunch break is here. Ready to go back to the office and knock the socks off your friends? I mean, coworkers? It's time for the top stories of the day. The Big Three.
If you would like to watch the show, a couple ways for you to do so on YouTube at San Diego Sports 760. Give us a subscription there. We'd love to see it. John and Jim take over the stream right after we get off, so it stays live from 12 to 6 every day. And then on X, at Fletch and Sammy is where you find us. Give us a follow there as well. We will follow you back immediately. Sammy, where are we starting the show?
Let's start. So Amari Cooper, in a surprise, signed with the Raiders last week, August 26th, retired today. So he will not be playing for the Las Vegas Raiders, wanting to go home, be with his family. What does this change? I know you were very high on the Raiders. Does this change your expectations for them at all, or do you think they're still at the bottom of the AFC West?
They are on the bottom of the AFC West. I think that's right. I mistakenly and kind of jokingly said, watch out for the Raiders, dark horse playoff team a couple weeks ago. I don't think that's what they are. I don't think they're as bad as everyone thinks they are. Like, Brock Bowers is a legit tight end. Geno Smith, say what you will about him, the dude can sling the football. Ashton Janty, I think, is going to be excellent, especially in the system. He's going to the right place with Pete Carroll as the head coach. And then defensively, look, they have one of the best defensive players in all of football in Max Crosby. One of the top 10 players in football right now, Max Crosby. I think that's fair to say. So the Raiders are not going to be as bad as everyone thinks. But Amari Cooper, he has had a weird career, man, because you felt like when he was younger, he had all the talent in the world, had a couple of 200-yard games with Derek Carr where you're like, oh, this dude could be a wide receiver one anywhere he goes. And then he bounced around a bit. With the Bills? Who else was he with, Sammy?
The Browns,
Cowboys. Amari Cooper, he's had a good career, but it felt like there was so much more potential. And if it's time for him to go be with his family, good for him.
Yeah, it was interesting because when they had Amari Cooper, you're kind of looking at this team like, again, they're going to be fourth in the AFC West. I didn't see any way they were passing any of the three teams above them. But Brock Bowers, you have one of the best young tight ends in the game. Ashton Janty, who's based on all projections, looks like he will be a superstar. We got to see him actually play, but looks great. And they have a number one receiver in Amari Cooper. That's gone. I do think Pete Carroll will have them playing well. Max Crosby's a fantastic player. The big kind of bugaboo for the Raiders over the years, they have not had a secondary. They have literally not had a decent secondary in about 10 years. They can't get it right. They've been rolling with Jack Jones, the former SC Arizona State product for years. Really hasn't worked out too well for them. But I do think the Raiders will be a fun team who will probably beat someone pretty good, very unexpected at the end of the year.
So is Brock Bowers now automatically wide receiver one, or is it Jacoby Myers?
Well, Jacoby Myers is talking about like he wants to trade a new contract.
Right.
But I think it's 100% Brock Bowers. I think this is going to be a heavy Ashton Janty, Brock Bowers, work on the boundary and set up for next year.
If we knew this Amari Cooper news 3 days ago, fantasy football drafts would have been very different. Brock Bowers would have gone much earlier.
No, exactly. And I think if you're Ashton Janty owners, you're very excited about that too, because you're Ben
Who
Fletcher.
got him? This guy.
So get Eagles Cowboys story number 2 tonight. Super excited for the game. Underlying story that came out this morning. Per sources, the Cowboys nixed in the Eagles were in on Micah Parsons. They were trying to get him before they obviously shipped him to the Packers. Do you think Jerry Jones even entertained this call? What do you make of them even trying to get him? And what would it have taken for the Cowboys to actually trade him to the Philadelphia Eagles?
It never would have happened, I don't think. I don't think there's any shot in the world. Look, it's weird enough that he went to the NFC. It's weird enough that he's staying in the NFC. But never would have been traded in division, I don't think, especially when you're playing the Eagles week 1. Look, it's going to be awkward enough for Jerry Jones and the Cowboys if Micah Parsons gets off to a great start and by week 4 he's humming as one of the best defensive players in football for the Packers, because they play the Packers in week 4. But imagine seeing that on week 1. Week 1, night 1. Sammy, you said it. This is going to be one of the most heavily bet games in NFL history. It's going to be one of the most heavily watched games of the season. And you see Micah Parsons sacking Dak Prescott on play 6 of the game. Like, it would have been too much. Jerry's crazy. He's not that crazy.
Yeah, that I don't care. I mean, it would have started at like where you are completely fleecing them. I mean, like 5 first-round picks type stuff, where even the most diehard Cowboy fan will go, But even at that, now I'm thinking about it, like you're going to give Micah Parsons a Super Bowl champ, so you're going to see twice a year. There's no way that could have happened. I think every GM in the league should be fired if they weren't at least trying to trade for Micah Parsons, because you talk about interest. I mean, what team wouldn't want Micah Parsons? It is surprising that they ended up trading him to the NFC and to a Packer team that was the last team that blitzed them in the playoffs. That was Jordan Love's coming out party. Jordan Love was widely considered a bust before that game, and they put up like 49 points in Jerry's world. Then they went on and lost to your Niners, Fletch, but looked good in that game as well. Very, very. It's funny that this report is coming out. I wonder how the Cowboys defense plays tonight. Like, you talk about being completely written off. They weren't very good last year. They were historically bad against the run. Jerry Jones has been harping on the fact that they got Kenny Clark. They're fixing the run game issues. It's going to be actually better. Where you're going up against the best rushing team in the league, so we're going to see how that goes. And then also, does some of this defense take it a little bit personally? Like Deron Bland is back, Trayvon Diggs is back in the secondary, so you're thinking it'd be better back there. But like when it's 3rd and 7, when it's 3rd and 6, if they get no pass rush tonight, and they lose, it's going to be the first question asked to Jerry Jones. You just traded this guy away. What are you doing?
We had to stop the run, Sammy. We had to stop the run, which is why we wanted Kenny Clark.
Micah pissed me off.
Have you seen Kenny Clark? He's an excellent run defender. What's next?
I think we're remiss not to get to the Padres and the Padres and the Dodgers both are
two worst teams in baseball.
Maybe. I mean, seriously, maybe. They've both been abysmal. The Dodgers have lost the last 2 games. Blake Snell's on the mound, playing Paul Skeens today. The Padres, we all know, in an abomination right now, losing to the Baltimore Orioles in a sweep. Where do you assess both these teams? Where do you assess the Padres right now? I mean, we went from a surefire playoff team in World Series aspiration to we think they're going to make the playoffs. They should make the playoffs.
The odds are going down on what's the FanGraphs had them at a 99% just a week ago, and it's gone down. Not dramatically, but it's down. I'll get a for sure number in a little bit. But look, the assessment of the Padres is you better freaking sweep the Rockies. The Rockies don't deserve to be breathing the same air as you right now, but the way you've played over the last week and a half makes it feel like this is going to be an even competition this weekend, and that's inexcusable. The Padres have a ton of pressure on them from now until October because they need to start stacking some wins. They need to do it quickly. Not to mention you have the Reds coming to Petco Park next week for a Dylan Cease bobblehead giveaway. So if you want to make sure,
great.
I know, awesome, right? It's the no-hitter bobblehead. I saw it this morning. It's actually pretty cool. But if
Make sure you get in line early for that one.
For sure. But if we're being very honest about this, losing 2 out of 3 to Colorado, losing 2 out of 3 to the Reds, you are now on the playoff bubble. So if you don't take care of business over the next 2 series, you are in serious danger of missing the postseason. And everything San Diego's doing right now of getting ready for this excellent run that we're all assuming is going to happen, we could all look like real asses, which is what happens when you assume.
Well, and look, they can put it to bed if they sweep the Reds or they take 2 or 3. They're pretty much the bunch there.
For sure.
If they lose to the Reds and they lose 2 or 3, and God forbid they get swept, this becomes a real discussion. I think what's more alarming, because I assume you feel the same way, I do think they end up making the playoffs, is this team is not playing good baseball. And we went from 3 weeks ago, the trade deadline, a month and a half ago.
They were the hottest team in ball.
Hottest team in baseball. And we keep going back to this. It feels like every time this team goes from being the lovable underdog that's got a lot of talent on it to a favorite. You talk about the World Series odds went up to number 4 at one point, just behind the Dodgers and the Phillies, I believe, and maybe the Brewers, someone else, or the Astros. And then it feels like every time they get to that level and the national pundits start picking them, they fall off a cliff. I mean, it was nice to see the offense wake up yesterday, but it's too little too late. You can't give up 7 runs early in the game and expect to be winning that way. Even if they had won yesterday, you look at it, that's not a sustainable way to win. Them and the Dodgers feels like they've been talking about both these teams as being the only 2 last year that had a real shot at the World Series. The Padres are completely struggling. The Dodgers are completely struggling. And it feels like teams like the Brewers, Cubs, and Phillies are really just elevating their game while these 2 are flailing right now.
We'll get back to the Padres in just a little bit. Plus, we got some sound ahead of the NFL season that I think is going to make everybody pretty sad. We also have a pair of tickets to give away to go see Lil Wayne September 10th at the North Island Credit Union Amphitheater out in Chula Vista. Tickets and info at Ticketmaster.com. These tickets will be given away in the first hour of the show today, so don't go anywhere. Eytan Shander live from Philadelphia coming up at 12:30 for a preview of tonight's game. Padres coming up next. It's San Diego Sports 760 live on the iHeartRadio app. Pair of Lil Wayne tickets on the line. September 10th, he's playing the North Island Credit Union Amphitheater out in Chula Vista. Tickets and info at Ticketmaster.com. Those tickets will be given away this hour, so keep listening. We're heading out to Philadelphia in about 10 minutes to talk to our buddy Eytan Shander about the Eagles, about tonight's game, about the weather out in Philly, which has been a problem. And I do happen to know that Eytan Shander, while he covers the Philadelphia Eagles as his day job, is quite the better on pro football. So we'll get into some betting conversations with Eytan as well. But Sammy, before we get into the Padres, I did want to mention yesterday we had some very sad moments when the raid of the Stream East facilities out in Egypt went down.
Oh, that was a brutal one.
So if you know Stream East, you know what it is. You know it's not going to be available to us.
If you're a UFC or boxing fan, you probably know what Stream East is.
Football as well. But if we're moving on from that, and at the very same time, within 24 hours, another thing has died. And that is what I've spent every Sunday of my adult life doing, which is Red Zone on the NFL Network with Scott Hansen. Scott went on the Pat McAfee show yesterday, and Scott said what his opening catchphrase is going to be. Do we have this sound, Sammy?
We do.
Let's take a listen from Scott Hansen himself, Mr. Red Zone, and hear the news.
Show.
Okay.
And so I'll just tell you right now, when you see me come on the air here, we're going to hit the Octo Box. We've got 8 games in the early window, taking you around all the different cities. And then when we get into it, ladies and gentlemen, it's been more than 250 days since the first full NFL Sunday, but we are back. And 7 hours of Red Zone football starts now.
So here's the thing. Usually Scott Hansen opens up every show with big energy. He's great. There's one human being alive who can do this job as good as he does, and it's Scott Hansen. But usually his opening line is, ladies and gentlemen, 7 hours of commercial-free football starts right now.
Damn ESPN, man.
And this year it's going to be Red Zone football starts right now. So I did some reading on this to find out how bad it is, how big the damage actually is. And fortunately, it's not as bad as I thought it was going to be. They're not going to take full-blown commercial breaks where it's like we go away from football for 2 minutes. It's going to be 4 separate, I believe, either per hour or per 2 hours, 4 separate multi-boxes.
Right. So the commercial is going to come up in the half the screen.
It's going to be a
and
split
then
screen.
It's going to go small in the corner.
Now the audio is going to go to the commercial. Football will not have any audio on it. But this is taken away from what makes Sundays beautiful, Sammy. I don't like change. You know this about me. I'm not happy right now.
Wait till the first time they do this and they go to a commercial or whatever, and there's going to be like an 80-yard bomb touchdown or pick six. People are going to go nuts. At least they're keeping it on the screen. I thought that they were literally going to do commercial breaks.
So I thought we'd be getting in a situation where like Josh Allen is charging down the field and all of a sudden it's a Burger King commercial.
So, I mean, at least like even because usually even Scott Hansen will be like, because he'll be talking about something and you can see something going on the other side, and he might, if you're watching on your phone or something, he might be late on it, but that is because he's talking about something else. But yeah, listen, Red Zone is fantastic. I love it when the Chiefs aren't playing. I like having it on. But listen, football's back. ESPN also is going to be very careful with this, because if they screw up Red Zone as the first thing they do,
there's going to be a riot.
So
the CEO of ESPN, whatever his name is, he downplayed this immediately. I don't think he's stoked that Scott Hansen went on Pat McAfee and said this the way he said it, because it made it seem like there was going to be real commercial breaks. So they did damage control immediately, got out there and said, no, hang on. It's just going to be split screens. It's going to be the audio. And they did test this out last year, if you remember. It was week 16, I believe. They threw in a couple of commercials and everybody lost their mind. So we'll see what happens this year. Hopefully it doesn't look too different. Red Zone is one of my favorite things on the planet. And that's not even much of a joke. I love NFL Red Zone. And hopefully it isn't too different from where it was. All right, real quickly, before we get to Eytan Shander, Padres yesterday, they lost 7-5. Nestor Cortez gave up 3 home runs back-to-back, I believe on 3 straight pitches. Rough outing for him. And they're going to need him moving forward. Like, we don't know what the mystery of Michael King is, when he'll be back, how well he'll pitch, what he's going to produce for the Padres. Yu Darvish almost feels like a lost cause at this point. Dylan Cease had a nice couple weeks, but is back to being who he was the first few months of the season. Nick Pivetta has been really, really good. We don't complain about Nick. We leave him in a corner. He's our special little guy. But the starting pitching has been
special little guy.
Yeah, Nick stays in the corner. He's been doing great. You're doing great, Nick. Outside of that, the Padres haven't had any starting pitching. And Nestor Cortez had a couple moments in his first couple starts for the Padres, But yesterday put everyone right back to base level 1 with this starting rotation. And if it's not better this weekend against the Rockies, I don't really know what to do.
Well, it's embarrassing that the Dodgers are playing terrible baseball right now. They're playing awful, and the Padres have made no ground. If you would have sat here and told anyone in San Diego, hey, last Friday, the Dodgers would lose Friday, Saturday, they'd win on Sunday, they're off Monday, and they lose Tuesday, Wednesday, and today they're facing Paul Skeens. You go, oh, wow. Padres are top. They got a golden opportunity. You're playing the Twins and the Orioles. The Padres have managed to lose 5 of 6 games. It's embarrassing that this team is not locked in right now. And it's just the starting pitching's awful. The bats, I know Tatis and Machado had a home run yesterday. That's great, but it's a little too late. You have to see this consistently. We're not going to sit here and throw a parade because one day in the middle of September they have it. They hit one again. Positive signs, but they have to do this over a concerted group of days, and it was like to overcome bad. There's 3 parts to a baseball team: starting pitching, bullpen, and hitting. The bullpen was elite, and it still is elite, but it took a hit when Jason Adam got. So it's not the superstar level bullpen that people are like, oh my god, we're scared of. This bullpen is untouchable. It hurt a little bit. You can't have starting pitching and the hitting be bad. It can't both be. It's fine if you're going to the postseason, you're like, I think we can accept that the starting pitching is not going to be what the Padres probably wanted it to be. But if the bats hit like the bats should be and like they're paid to hit, and the bullpen as good as it is, you'd feel pretty good heading into the postseason. But with the bats slumping right now and the starting pitching being what it is, it's very frustrating. It feels like you're putting a lot of hope and a lot of pressure on Michael King to come back and be the guy that he can be, but you're needing him to literally be your second starter in the postseason.
Feel great about this, really do. Lil Wayne tickets on the other side. Eytan Shander on the other side, live from Philadelphia, the site of tonight's opener for the NFL season. Let's get into it a little bit. It's San Diego Sports 760 live on the iHeartRadio app.
This sport is sponsored by Cal Fire. Padres lost yesterday 7-5 at the hands of the Baltimore Orioles. They were swept. They will be in Colorado taking on the Rockies at 5:40 tomorrow. Nick Pivetta will be on the mound for the Pods, while Kyle Freeland will be going for the Rockies. And the NFL is back tonight. Cowboys, Eagles live from Philly. Cowboys originally were 6.5-point dogs before the Micah Parsons trade. They've been bet up to 8.5-point dogs after the deal. Wildfires don't wait. Neither should you. Get your go bag ready now. Figure out your evacuation routes. Stay aware of alerts from local law enforcement. And when you need to evacuate, go right away. Learn more at readyforwildfire.com.
San Diego Sports 760 on a beautiful day because it is the first day of the NFL season. Eagles, Cowboys tonight. You'll hear that game right here on 760. And Ben Fletcher, Sammy Long with you till 2. John and Jim will take over then. And right now we head out to Philadelphia, the site of tonight's game, to check in with our buddy Eytan Shander. You can follow him on X at Shander Show or at Shander Bets. He has both those going all the time. Eytan, what's going on, man? It's been too long.
It has been. Well, that's what happens when nothing really is going on in Philadelphia. I wouldn't expect you to call me either.
Yeah, I mean, we'll check in with you if the Phillies and Padres end up playing each other in the postseason. But right now, it's about football, Eytan. How's the offseason been for you? Have you been as depressed as we've been with no football on the TV for months now?
Yeah, I mean, I don't even have like some third-tier league. We had that for like right? I mean, I would take semi-pro football right now. I mean, give me some 21-year-old kid who's trying to make it a JUCO whatever I can get, summer league, just something I can bet on. By all means, that's also a component of the NFL or football, and we haven't had that, and it's been depressing. And you're right, especially when your team, and not to rub it in anywhere else around the country, but when your team wins the Super Bowl, all you want to do is get right back. It's like anybody who has the misfortune or fun, depending on how good you are, going out and playing a round of golf. You hit a couple of these shots and it's like, you just want to keep going. You want to keep going. You don't want to hit a beautiful drive and have to sit in your cart for 8, 10, 15 minutes because the foursome in front of you just won't move.
It's a perfect description, Eytan. And now I get to introduce you to my buddy, my guy here, Sammy Long, who I don't know if you've ever had to chat with before, but diehard Kansas City Chiefs fan. So Sammy is also really excited for the start of the NFL season because his team got his ass kicked in the Super Bowl against your Eagles.
Yes, we were all aware. Eytan, where you leaning in this game tonight? What do you make of the spread being bet up to 8.5 after the Micah Parsons deal? Are you leaning any way? You think Philly covers?
I don't think they cover an 8.5 spread. I found it on one of these smaller fake creative books at 9.5 earlier this morning when one of my kids woke up at like 4:30, and I bet that. Look, let's start with your question here, Sammy, right? As far as like with Micah Parsons, I'm sorry, but there are few players in the NFL that truly move a line by a full point. And any of them, in fact, all of them play the quarterback position. Micah Parsons is amazing. There are players that don't play the quarterback position that impact the football game. But when we're talking about a betting line, every book, the major books, have a system, a point system, and they apply that to every player that's on a roster. And most guys are like 0.1, right? Like 0.09 or something like that. Every now and again, you'll get a Lamar, right? You'll get a Mahomes, you'll get a Hurts. These guys are like 1, 1.5, maybe 3, right? Depending on how good they are. Micah Parsons is not moving the line by 1. The fact that I could get it by 2 full points up to 9.5, it's a division game. There are a couple of things working against the Eagles. New offensive coordinator, same head coach. Head coach doesn't have any impact on the offense. Might take a minute here. I think you don't expect the same clearly from Saquon Barkley game in and game out. Eagles going to have to throw a little bit. Defense took a little bit of a hit in the secondary. And oh, by the way, the Cowboys are going to be the second best team in this division, fellas. And they're watching the ring, the banner, all this stuff happen in front of them while the Eagles are just chuckling in the locker room. It's way too much for me to ignore.
All right, so let's talk about the game tonight matchup-wise and what's actually going to be going down on the field because the Eagles have changed quite a bit since that team won the Super Bowl a year ago. What's the biggest area of concern for the Eagles heading into 2025?
It has to be on defense, and it has to be specifically the secondary. It's going to be the safety position, the free safety position, roaming, and it's also going to be the cornerback 2 spot. Right now, I mean, you've got a rookie who could step in and possibly start. That would be 2 rookies with Jahad Campbell already at the linebacker spot. But this Eagles secondary, Adoree Jackson as the CB2, I mean, come on, this Eagles secondary, it's not going to be as bad as Dallas's, but it's going to be porous at times. And they're going to give up plays, and they're going to give up X plays, and they're going to get beat because some guys aren't going to know where to be. And Vic Fangio is going to be stewing up there. He's going to be redder than a thermometer, right, at 109, whatever it is. And all of that's going to happen with growing pains, but that's the real area of concern. I don't think they took a massive hit. They have 2 monster human beings up front that can penetrate and get to the quarterback. The linebacker spot's fine. I mean, clearly you lose a starter there, but Jahad Campbell should step in and be serviceable at best. It's the secondary, fellas.
The report came out this morning that the Eagles tried to trade for Micah Parsons. Do you think that was real at all, or just the Eagles flexing on the Cowboys a little bit?
No, I think it's 100% real. I think Howie Roseman is calling NBA and NHL teams at this point. I mean, he is looking for any edge that he can possibly have. And that's what you want, right? When you're looking at one of the best GMs across sports, and that's really what he is, president of operations, what have you, he's in charge. When you look at one of the best personnel guys, it's not just because he's good at the draft or he's good ahead anticipating setting the market with free agents. He's also aggressive. And that's exactly what you want. Look, here's the caveat in all of this. If Howie Roseman got a deal done for Micah Parsons, the benefit of the doubt based on how successful Howie has been is that he's not going crazy. This is not some maniac deal in which he just shipped off half of his team to net Parsons. It probably was that in response. I mean, look who you're dealing with, right? A maniac. But in this case, I think Howie Roseman doing due diligence is pretty much expected around the league right now for any named player that can make an impact.
Eytan Shander joining us live from Philadelphia, the site of tonight's game. Hey, is the weather a factor tonight? Because I did see it's raining quite a bit out in Philly.
It's not raining right now where I am, and I'm about 10 miles north of the city. I mean, it may take me 45 minutes to get there because of traffic in general, but there's no rain where I see right now. I know there is concern coming down in a little bit, but you're looking at like a 35% shower there. 9 o'clock is when it starts. This is not torrential downpour, fellas. This is not something that is also accompanied by maybe some wind. That's where it gets, okay, I'll meet you halfway. I'm not concerned about the wet. I'm concerned about the 25 mile per hour wind gust that we're getting. That could impact the kicking game. That could impact a little bit of the air game. I think you're going to see at least to start, like maybe you take the under first half total, something like that. I think you're going to see at the start offenses trying to get their feet on the ground as we see normally at the start of the season. The defenses have taken a hit, but I don't think the offenses are right there yet to pounce on it. There's still going to be some growing pains, if you will, in the first week of the season. And I think the wind will probably have more of an impact than anything.
Who do you see as the biggest threat to the Eagles in the NFC?
Across the board. It's a great question. You look around the divisions and you just kind of hear consistent favorites, right? I think for the most part, the Tampa Bay Bucks are pretty much given that division. And if that's the case, if this game is in Tampa, I'm concerned. I'll tell you that right now. They don't play well down there. Vic Fangio, I know, what have you, but that would be a concern for me. Look, I think Chicago, a direct threat to the Philadelphia Eagles if they did have to play head-to-head in the postseason, but they're going to surprise a lot of people. I've got them going over 9.5. I've got them as a sexy favorite to hopefully I can hedge in the playoffs to win this whole thing, to win the NFC. I think the Lions take a step back. Packers don't move. Vikings might miss the playoffs. Bears could win that thing. But again, I think it's the Bucks, and it's going to be a combination of the 49ers and possibly another team, which is probably going to be the Rams, right? Maybe the Cardinals figure something out. But let's be honest, guys. Dallas is going to compete for the division. I don't think there's a team, including Detroit in the NFC North. It's going to be Tampa for sure in the NFC South. And then the Niners are just going to be the obvious play out west. That's really it. And then I think we're just having like a stretch kind of back and forth argument to kill time, which you guys don't need to do.
What's insane, Eytan, is you just turned a Kansas City Chiefs diehard fan into a massive Eytan Shander fan, which I did not know was going to be possible. But everything you just said about Chicago is everything Sammy's been saying
telling
about
Fletch
Chicago
this for weeks. Thank you.
There's no shot Chicago does this. Eytan, before we let you go, Sammy and I are in a season-long Survivor Pool big money bet.
Yes.
We need a lock
Denver.
for week 1.
Denver. I mean, what's going on here? Cam Ward. And listen, when FanDuel offered that boost thing where you could just boost futures, I boosted the Titans. I think I got them up to like 980, maybe even 10-1 to win the AFC South. Cam Ward figures this thing out. This team is dangerous. They have a lot of components already in place, but he's not walking into Denver with that altitude, that head coach, that defense, that tempo that they're going to run, both aggressive on defense and slowing things down. It's really difficult for me to believe that a rookie quarterback is going to walk into Denver and win that football game on the road, right? I don't care about the spread here. We're just talking about win-loss. I don't know how often you're going to go to Denver throughout the year, but that would be my play. If you don't, and you want something a little bit more exotic, take a shot on the Cleveland Browns. I know it sounds crazy, but look, this team has been more unlucky than anything else. They've gone like 2.5 seasons without playing a game that's been settled by 3 or less. The probability of that is like you hitting the Powerball. So things are going to start to come back as they continue to build up that team. I know there's a lot of hope on Cincinnati, but look at their defense. Denver's my choice, though.
Okay. Well, we'll take it into consideration. I like it a lot. Eytan Shander, you're the absolute man.
What are you thinking about? I mean, do you have a hard break here? You got to kick me out?
We do have to kick you out, but not Cleveland. What the hell, dude? Against the Bengals?
Let's talk next week. Look, if Cleveland covers the spread, I'll consider this conversation a push. If they don't, I'll take my lick by all means.
All right. Sounds good, man. At Shander Show on X. You can find him there at Shander Bets. He's his gambling X account. Give him a follow. One of the best dudes in sports media. Thank you, Eytan. Appreciate you.
Anytime, fellas. Anytime. Good to meet you, Sammy. Thanks, guys.
All right. Eytan Shander. It's San Diego Sports 760. Our season-long NFL long shots coming up next. It's San Diego Sports 760 live on the iHeartRadio app. Download the Prize Picks app today, and when you do, you're going to want to use promo code Fletch. Today's the day to do so, man. We got football professionally starting tonight. So download the app today because you only have a few hours left for your season-long entries. Sammy and I are giving you a 6-player season-long entry coming up in just 5 minutes you don't want to miss. And if you want to take part of it, here's what you do. Download the Prize Picks app. Use promo code Fletch, Fletch. That is going to give you a $50 bonus after your first $5 entry. Prize Picks is my absolute favorite daily fantasy sports app. I've tried them all. Prize Picks is the one I've stuck with. Been with them since November of 2023. And in that time have cashed out over $6,000. If you got the skills, you could do the same. Download Prize Picks today. Use promo code Fletch. Keep listening for about 5 minutes and we're going to give you a season-long football entry. It is the best, man. The promotions are awesome. Taco Tuesdays, Flex Fridays. Begging you to win lineups. Download the app today. Use promo code Fletch, Fletch. And on Prize Picks, it's good to be right. We've been waiting months for this exact moment. We really have. Sammy and I have had this in the works. We've had this planned out for quite literally 3 months, that the day the football season began, we would give out a season-long Prize Picks lineup. And if you want to join in, use promo code Fletch when you sign up. This is Long Shots. We do this every day around 12:45, where Sammy builds us out a daily fantasy sports lineup you can use usually on tonight's action. Today, we're going for the next 5 months of action, and we're up in the cost. At least I am. I'm going $50 on this one. 6-player entry, full NFL season. Sammy Long, I think it's that time. Let's smash that button.
Let's see. Underdogs? Nah, that's old. Those with a less than good chance of winning? Too wordy. Wait, got it. It's time for Sammy's Long Shots.
All right, so here's what we're doing. We did ask listeners to contribute one of these for the season long, and that was Cortland Sutton, more than 875.5 receiving yards for the season. I like that a lot. That was our buddy Tyler, who did a lot poll on X, and listeners have contributed. Cortland Sutton, more than 875.5 receiving yards. He just got paid. He was really good in the last 6 weeks of the season last year with Bo Nix, who was also very good in the last 6 weeks. That is our listener entry for Long Shots. Cortland Sutton, more than 875.5.
Really enjoy that pick. Tyler, everyone voted on that. I think it's good. Like you mentioned, he just got paid. And, in that offense, he's really the only proven receiver there. You got Marvin Mims, got a couple other guys. But Bo Nix is definitely going to need his favorite target. And
not only that, Sean Payton, used to carrying one guy to a ton of yards. Michael Thomas did it for years in New Orleans. I like this pick.
Totally. Cortland Sutton also has been a very underrated receiver for years. He just couldn't stay healthy.
I like it. Next. Or how do you want to do this?
All right, you go with your you got 2 or 3.
I got 2.
Okay, I got 3. You go 2 and then I'll go 3.
All right, my first one is a rookie, so maybe a little risky, but it's a rookie in a system where he's going to be used all the time. Ashton Janty is going to get the ball a ton this year. His number is lower than I thought it would be, so I like it a lot. 7.5 rushing touchdowns for Ashton Janty. I'm going more than, because I think his usage, especially in the red zone, is going to be through the roof. He's also a home run hitter. Pete Carroll loves going with one running back systems. Ashton Janty to the moon.
I like that. I think his usage rate's going to go through the roof. Amari Cooper just retired. We don't have a lot of weapons there besides Brock Bowers. We don't know what the Jacoby Myers situation is. I'm assuming that gets worked out because Amari Cooper is not there. I like that a lot. I think Janty has a big year.
Might hit this by week 7. I love this pick. All right, my second one is going to be a second-year quarterback who set the world on fire last year. I do expect a little bit of a regression this year from this guy. I don't think he's going to be quite as good, but I think his yardage will be up. Jaden Daniels of the Washington Commanders, more than 3,424 passing yards on the season. We're going more than. Putting a lot of faith in year 2 of Jaden Daniels. I had a less than pick I was messing with, but I don't trust it as much, so we're going with Jaden Daniels.
What's the less than pick?
It was going to be Mike Evans receiving yards. Like, this is the year that Mike Evans tapers off, but he's never under 1,000 and his numbers.
What do you want to go with?
975.
You want to be risky or you want to go Jaden Daniels?
Jaden Daniels. Feel good about it.
Okay. All right. So you got Jaden Daniels over on passing yards, Genty over on rushing touchdowns. Then we got our listener pick, Cortland Sutton, over on receiving yards.
All right, it's time for Sammy.
My 3, I got 3 right here. I got 2 receivers and a running back. We're going to start with the only under I have. We're going to go Saquon. Saquon Barkley, phenomenal player. I mean, still one of the best players in the NFL, but let's not forget, this guy has had a massive injury history before last season. He played the maximum number of games, went to the Super Bowl, obviously was fantastic. His rushing total is at 1,399.5. We're going to go less than. I think this is a little bit too much of a number. He is getting up there. He's 28, I believe. And, you know, Eytan Shander, was just saying about how the defense took a little bit of a step back. I think the Eagles might be a little bit more high flying, having to use a little bit of the offenses here. Again, Saquon Barkley's going to have a fantastic year. This number is just way too high for me and feels like a little bit of a sucker bet to go over. So less than 1,399.5 rushing yards. All right, and then we're going to go to 2 receivers I like. Jerry Jeudy for the Cleveland Browns. Now, normally betting on Cleveland Browns doesn't work out too well, but let's not forget with this guy. This guy has been tremendous. Remember what he did against his former team, the Denver Broncos, last year in that one Monday night game? We're going to go over 3.5 touchdowns. I don't know who the quarterback is. Joe Flacco. Maybe it's Dylan Gabriel. Maybe it's Shador. This is way too low of a number for Jerry Jeudy, who is the number 1 in that offense. And they're going to be playing from behind in a lot of games. So you can backdoor cover this. I wouldn't be surprised if he hits this actually halfway through the year. Jerry Jeudy, more than 3.5 receiving touchdowns. Then we're going to head out to the desert. Marvin Harrison Jr., a little bit of a disappointment last year. Wasn't the guy that everyone thought. He was one of the can't-miss prospects coming out. Generational type receivers. Brian Thomas Jr. kind of showed him up. It's in mid-league neighbors. But we're going to go this year. I think he has a big year out there in the desert, over 975.5 receiving yards. I think he clips 1,000 here. I think the Arizona offense is a sneaky team to watch. You got Trey McBride there. Kyler, fully healthy this year. Marvin Harrison Jr., I think he becomes a legit number 1 receiver, over 975.5 receiving yards.
Season long.
All right, so let's repeat it. So I'll repeat mine, then we're going to go through all of them. Jerry Jeudy for the Cleveland Browns, over 3.5 receiving touchdowns. Marvin Harrison Jr., over 975.5 receiving yards. Saquon Barkley, less than 1,399.5 rushing yards. Fletch.
Ashton Janty, more than 7.5 touchdowns. Jaden Daniels, more than 3,424 passing yards. And Cortland Sutton, more than 875.5 receiving yards.
It's the lock of the century.
Ooh, I'm hitting submit right now.
And guess what? We don't have to, like, our baseball parlay is a little cooked.
Oh, it's all the way cooked.
It's all the way cooked. We can admit it. Bobby Witt Jr. disappointed us.
Robert Suarez was too good.
Yeah, Fletch wanted to go under on Robert Suarez, but I liked your logic at the time that he might get traded at the deadline. But this is the NFL.
All right, this one is going up on my X account. We'll retweet it from @Fletch and Sammy. It's going to be @Fletch Sports. You can find this. If you want to follow along, great. If not, you can laugh at us halfway through the season when it doesn't start to go so well. We'll be sweating it all year long. If you want to join the sweat, download PrizePicks, use promo code Fletch, get that $50 bonus, and have some fun with us. Why not? All right, hour number 2 is coming up next. We got the coach, Kentera, jumping on the show at 1:30. We got more NFL to talk about. We got more Padres to talk about, and AFC, NFC division winners coming up in hour number 2. Right now, your chance to win Lil Wayne tickets, 877-767-4760. Caller number 7, you're going to the show. on September 10th at the North Island Credit Union Amphitheater in Chula Vista. Tickets and info at Ticketmaster.com. Caller number 7, you're going to see Lil Wayne, Wheezy Baby, 877-767-4760. We'll be back with hour number 2.
This sport is sponsored by Cal Fire. Padres will be back tomorrow in Colorado taking on the Rockies, who are 39 and 101. Better win this series. They'll be going at 5:40. Nick Pivetta will be on the mound for the Pods, while Kyle Freeland will be going for the Rockies. And tonight is the night. NFL kickoff. Cowboys, Eagles in Philly. Enough said. Spread's currently set at 8.5 with the point total set at 47.5. But some experts are thinking it's coming down due to wind and weather in Philadelphia. Wildfires don't wait, and neither should you. Go get your go bag ready now. Figure out your evacuation routes, stay aware of alerts from local law enforcement, and when you need to evacuate, go right away. Learn more at readyforwildfire.org.
It's hour number 2 here on San Diego Sports 760. This is the Fletch Zone. Ben Fletcher, Sammy Long with you till 2 o'clock. John and Jim will take over then. We just debuted our season-long football long shots. It is up on my X account. You can find it at Fletch Sports. We'll retweet it at Fletch and Sammy as well. And if you want to watch the show ever, at Fletch and Sammy is the spot to go on X. You can watch as we meander our way through a couple hours of awesome sports radio. Some say the best sports radio. I've heard that a couple times.
Yes. Some say.
That's Sammy Long. We'll be with you till 2:00 today. We got Coach Kentera joining the show at 1:30. That's what we like to do here on this show. We bring Coach on every week. We bring Steve Hartman on every week. And we got a new weekly guest who I think is going to make his debut next week for the football season.
Is this who we've been talking about?
I believe so. It's not locked in completely yet, so don't want to throw the name out there yet, but that'll be on Wednesdays.
Tell him to get his ass in studio.
He's really got to get his ass in gear. He lives in San Diego. We all know him. We all love him, and hopefully this is happening for the NFL season. All right, Sammy, it's hour number 2. We have really not talked a ton about the Padres because they're kind of depressing right now and football is back. But let's get into this a little bit. Next 3 games are against the Colorado Rockies in Denver. 3 games after that are against the Cincinnati Reds in San Diego. I kind of feel like they need to win all 6 to make me feel great about this team once again. And luckily for the Padres, as bad as the last couple weeks have gone, you win 5 out of 6 or you win 6 out of 6 over the next 6 games. Everyone starts to feel better again. And also luckily for the Padres, this offense, which has been pretty anemic over the last few weeks outside of the final innings yesterday, has an opportunity to go to Denver, where they scored 21 runs earlier this season. Denver is a great spot to get right for an offense. It's a great spot for fly balls to turn into home runs. And I'm hoping that's what we see this week, regardless of what starting pitching does, because we have zero faith in that right now, that the offense at least really revs into gear this weekend. And even if it's just mentally, tricks themselves back into being a good offensive team.
Well, yeah. I mean, that's what we're hoping for. The other thing could be said that that Colorado is not the best place to get right.
You son of a gun.
I mean, it is kind of a ballpark where you kind of throw the records out the window. I mean,
for real,
a little bit. And the Padres, again, on paper, the Rockies have no business being in a series with the Padres. But I also said that about the Baltimore Orioles. We also said about the Minnesota Twins. So, I mean, thankfully for the Padres, the Dodgers have been really abysmal in the last week, and it's keeping the division within reach, because if the Dodgers were playing competent baseball the last week, this thing would have been out of reach. Both teams extremely flailing right now, and the starting pitching, I mean, they got to figure something out, because it can't just be about the bullpen. Like the bullpen, it's almost unfair to some of these guys. Like Robert Suarez got taken in the track the other night, or yesterday, obviously great play by Ramon Laureano. It's unfair to these bullpen guys that if they give up anything, it's like it's on them, even though it shouldn't be on them. The Padres are putting so much pressure on the bullpen to be excellent night in, night out. I don't care how good the bullpen is. At some point, a guy, when you bring in 4 or 5 guys in relief, one guy's not going to be on one night. I mean, it's kind of amazing the Dodgers won the World Series throwing bullpen games. Like it's kind of amazing last year that was a thing. You would never think heading into a postseason. Remember when the Padres were up 2-1? It's like the Dodgers throwing a bullpen game. Like this thing's over. You can't just rely on the bullpen. It's a great thing to have. It's fantastic that this team does have an elite bullpen despite the Jason Adam injury. But the bats got to get going. Again, Tatis and Machado got a home run yesterday, but I'm not sitting here giving moral victories in the beginning of September because you gave up 7 runs to begin with.
That's what I love about you, Sammy Long. You give 0 moral victories. No, you are hard facts, baby.
Right. This is not May. This is not June where you can go, they're going to figure it out. They need to figure it out right now, and they put some pressure on the Dodgers, because if they don't and they limp into the postseason, it's hard to really get excited about this team.
Well, speaking of pressure, right now the Padres are at 76-64. They are 1 game up on the Mets, who currently hold the final wild card spot. Giants 4 games back of the Mets, 5 games back of the Padres. Giants, who by the way are 9-1 in their last 10, they're on fire right now, hitting home runs like crazy. Remember the Giants team that couldn't hit? They figured out how to hit. The Cincinnati Reds 5 games back of the Mets, 6 games back of the Padres. Play against the Padres starting next Monday. The Reds have been in a real bad way. It's been good for the Padres that the Reds and the Dodgers keep losing, but now all of a sudden you got the Giants to worry about, who are kind of nipping at the heels in the wild card as well and have not given up on their season. So pressure, stress, that's what we're in for over the next couple months, when we thought this would be an easy road to the postseason, somewhere around 30 games left.
Well, and then you're looking at the team, like you looked at the Phillies when, why am I blanking? The star Wheeler got hurt out for the year. they're still playing excellent baseball. They've been in a series with the Brewers. The Brewers have been great all year. The Cubs are turning things around a little bit. They were kind of that team that got completely left out at the deadline. People really didn't take them seriously despite the really hot start to the season. Kyle Tucker starting to get it back because he was in a long slump for the Cubs. I mean, again, kind of go back to it. It felt like last year was really Dodgers or Padres, and whatever team was going to win that was going to get through. The NL is it's stacked this year. You could really make a case for any team, and it's going to be interesting where the positioning is. We're assuming that they get in. The Mets have started playing much better baseball after really struggling in the beginning of August. So we'll see if doesn't matter where they get in. You just want to get in, but it sucks that you're likely not going to have that home field Petco Park unless they get things together this weekend.
I misspoke. 22 games left. Even more pressure. Stress. Let's go. All right, big three of hour number 2. Sammy Long takes us through the top stories in the world of sports. I'm guessing we got lots of football because football is the news right now. Sammy, smash it.
Your lunch break is here. Ready to go back to the office and knock the socks off your friends? Coworkers? It's time for the top stories of the day. The Big Three.
All right, Sammy, where we starting hour 2?
All right, we're going to start in the NFL. So sportsbooks have reported as the day of the NFL getting going, the Bills and Ravens start season as Super Bowl betting favorites. They've been getting the most action on those two teams over the Eagles. What is a team you think is some serious value looking at the Super Bowl odds that you think you could sprinkle a little money on that you think has a shot to win the Super Bowl?
I mean, obviously the San Francisco 49ers don't know where they're at, but I did see a couple simulations run over the last few days that do have the Niners winning the Super Bowl, have the Chiefs losing to the Bills in the AFC Championship game.
Was that Niners fan 123?
No, it wasn't.
Did they put that one out there?
I can't remember what the website
Jim
was.
Russell, did he put that one out there?
But I saw it this morning and it made me feel really good inside. No, so if we're looking honestly, we're looking seriously, I would say the 49ers, but let's take the homerisms out of it. Teams that can win a Super Bowl that we currently aren't talking about. Honestly, you do have to put the Rams in there, pending on Matthew Stafford's health. They have an excellent team. That defense, is it Hurst? What's the guy's name on the defense? Jared Verse, yeah. Who I think is a long shot for Defensive Player of the Year, could absolutely get it. I really like the Texans. I think last year was a weird year because CJ Stroud had all this pressure on him to come out and perform like he did his rookie season. Between injuries, between a running back situation that was a little bit of a disaster, nothing really fell the Texans' way. This year, they come back. Nico Collins, I have as one of my favorite wide receivers in the NFL. CJ Stroud, I think, has a big year this year. Give me the Texans as the ultimate dark horse to sneak their way out of the AFC and potentially win a Super Bowl.
Wow. Texans at plus 2,500. Your Niners are at plus 1,800. Okay, I'm going to go.
I like that money on the Niners. I really do. This is going to be the year. They've made me wait almost 30 years, Sammy. This is the year.
I'm not going to respond to that. The Rams, as you mentioned, plus 2,000, I think is amazing value because these odds are really being hurt right now because of the Stafford injury. If Stafford is healthy, you talk about one of the most talented rosters in the league, and I think that they would be higher there. I'm going to go with a wild card. And again, I'm not picking them to win the Super Bowl, but you're talking about just a team that on paper, if you look at the roster, matches up with anyone. Pittsburgh Steelers at plus 5,500 to win a Super Bowl.
Plus 55?
Yeah, they're down there, but they're right above the Cowboys. They're like 15, 16. If you take away the fact that Aaron Rodgers is the quarterback, and I've been not an Aaron Rodgers fan, but to be fair to Aaron Rodgers, he is an upgrade of what they've had. Kenny Pickett and Mason Rudolph don't inspire much confidence. And Mike Tomlin can't get this team to the playoffs. Plus 5,500 for maybe the best defense in the NFL. I mean, one of them. That defense is disgusting with TJ Watt and Patrick Queen. I mean, it is stacked head to toe. We'll see what's up with Cam Hayward in his deal. But in terms of a roster, there's very few rosters that are more talented than the Pittsburgh Steelers. It comes down to quarterback play. No. Do I think Pittsburgh goes on the road and beats Kansas City, Buffalo, Baltimore with a worse quarterback? No. But if we're talking about value, that's interesting for a little bet right there.
Don't hate it. What's next?
All right, let's head to college football. OSU. So Ohio State's athletic director wants playoff expansion, which is interesting considering they just beat Texas. They're the number one team in the country. Saying increasing the college football field again would be, quote, for the good of the game.
Quote, for the good of our wallets.
It's funny, though, coming from Ohio State, because if you're Ohio State, why would you, if you're an Ohio State fan, why would you want the college football playoff field to expand?
I'll tell you exactly why. So Boise State makes the college football playoff last year, right? Boise State benefits immensely financially from that. You know who else benefits financially from that? The entire Mountain West. because Boise State made the college football playoff. That is what this is all about. When you ask yourself why, it's because more teams in Ohio State's conference make it to the college football playoff. Ohio State gets more money. There it is.
Yeah, but if you're but if you're Ohio State and you're consistently ranked towards the top of the country, they're number one. They're always getting the first look at recruits. Ohio State can go in anywhere, then go into Los Angeles, then go into Miami, then go recruit anywhere they want. We've seen Clemson push back on this expansion. We've seen Alabama pre-Kalen DeBoer pushing back on this. Those blue blood teams, it was great when it was a 14 playoff because Ohio State got in every year, Alabama, Clemson, and Georgia, and it's like, hey, great, everyone's out. Expanding the field, I'm all for it because it creates more competition, and you're not going to see Georgia playing Southeast Middle Eastern State and beating them by 80 points in stacking it so where you beat Alabama at the end of the year, going to the SEC championship game and just getting in the playoff. It's fun that we have more competition. College football feels pretty wide open this year. I'm not for the whole 28 teams getting in. I think that's way too much. This should not be like college basketball. The 28th team should not get in the tournament, but certainly getting to 16, I think more teams the merrier.
I think it's financial. I really do. I think anything when it comes to the NCAA and they want to expand things, it's all about extra dollar signs. Sammy, what's next?
Nick Benito got a deal today, pass rusher for the Denver Broncos, 4-year, $106 million extension that includes $70 million guaranteed. Broncos have been a popular pick to take down the Chiefs in the division. Our own 858 says Broncos Bucks are his Super Bowl sleepers. But the Broncos or Chargers? What fan base would you rather be heading forward? Take apart the fact that San Diego.
What fan base?
No, well, exactly. But I'm saying, what team would you rather be going forward? Herbert and Harbaugh, or Bo Nix and Sean Payton with Denver?
Honestly, it's going to come down to the defense on this one. It is Sean Payton and the Denver Broncos. I think that defense is set up not just for right now, but for the next 5 years, really, really good. And you take that defense and you add in an offensive mastermind, which he absolutely is in Sean Payton. They're set for a while. If Bo Nix is as good as we're supposed to believe he is, which I don't believe that yet, but a lot of people around the country do. If Bo Nix is that dude, you're looking at 10 years in Denver of being really, really solid. The Chargers just have a way of charging, and that's really all you need to say about them. I like Jim Harbaugh as a head coach. I mean, I kind of can't stand him, but I like him as a head coach. I think he's very talented. I really like Justin Herbert. I don't know that the Chargers will ever be able to get to the level where they are consistently winning for a decade at a time. Denver has shown in their past that they can do that, and I feel like they're entering into one of those windows right now.
It's funny you don't like Jim Harbaugh. Why don't you like Jim Harbaugh?
Jim Harbaugh was the 49ers head coach.
Well, no, I know that. That's why I'm asking.
It didn't go well with us. We got to a Super Bowl, sure, but I'm pretty sure a lot of his coaching decisions are the reasons that Super Bowl was not won.
So do you feel that way about Kyle Shanahan?
Not yet.
Okay.
We'll see when he leaves.
Sean Payton, obviously.
Jim Harbaugh, also, when he left the Niners, some of the reports coming out of that locker room were ugly, nasty reports. Like, they hated him.
Yeah, he's an acquired taste. Mm-hmm. Jim Harbaugh's acquired taste.
Stupid-ass khakis.
Yeah, so, you're talking about organizations. The Broncos are 1,000 times better organization than the Chargers. We all know with the Chargers leaving San Diego, the Chargers have always found a way to charger. It doesn't matter how good they were, where they were at. That's constantly been a thing. Denver has been an organization that has, they ruled the AFC West for the Chiefs. They won like 9 straight times, something like that, or beat the Chiefs like 9 straight times for the Chiefs went on a run. I am going to go with the Chargers, though, simply because I believe in Herbert over Bo Nix. And even though Sean Payton has a Super Bowl, Harbaugh doesn't, I do think Harbaugh's a very good coach. I don't love the defense for the Chargers because they're a lot older. Derwin James, Khalil Mack, Bosa's gone. I think they're going to have some problems there. They lost Christian Fulton as well at the corner spot to Kansas City. But I do think in terms of the offensive line, if Rashawn Slater is there with Joe Alt, that's going to be fantastic and for next year. And Bo Nix, he has to show me he can beat a team above 500. Bo Nix looks like he's a good player. But we've seen CJ Stroud get hyped up as the next big thing. We've seen Justin Herbert get hyped up as the next big thing, and it doesn't quite pan out. The Broncos have not beat a team over 500, and I think it's kind of asinine that people are putting them in the Super Bowl when they literally have not proven that to us.
All right, let's rip through some of these texts. 619 says Herbert and Harbaugh for the next 10 years, baby. Go Chargers, F-U Spanish. That is a very mature text. 858, Sean Payton actually has a Super Bowl. Has to be the Broncos. 858, Broncos Bucks are my Super Bowl sleepers.
Read that next one, Fletch.
858, the website Stream East has the Niners winning the Super Bowl.
And Streamies got shut down yesterday.
Thank you, 858. 949, good guess, but no. Rich will be on the show a lot, but it is a different person we're looking to be our Wednesday regular feature.
949 wants to know if I got a watch party for Chiefs Charger game.
Sammy's watch party is going to be on his couch by himself in a dark room with all the windows shut.
949, I'm actually not really good watching games with people, especially Chiefs games. We've had actually some interesting altercations with family members who have decided they want to come over for a Chiefs game. But there's some great Chiefs bars downtown. I believe that the Top Gun bar down there.
Yeah, the Kansas City barbecue.
That's a Chiefs bar.
I might swing by there tonight for some dinner. I'll be down the Gaslamp area. Seaport Village is where my buddy's staying.
Okay.
Going to watch the game downtown. All right, we're going to take a quick break here. Speaking of the Chiefs, speaking of the Broncos, AFC divisional winners coming up next. Coach Kentera in 15 minutes. Don't go anywhere. It's San Diego Sports 760 live on the iHeartRadio app. Football's back. Let's get weird. San Diego Sports 760. Ben Fletcher, Sammy Long with you till 2. You can catch the Sean Lewis Coaches Show tomorrow night, 6 o'clock, right here on San Diego Sports 760. John Schaefer, Rich Ornberger sitting down with the head coach of the Aztecs, looking back at last week's win and previewing Saturday's game at Washington State. The Sean Lewis Coaches Show tomorrow night, 6 o'clock, right here on your home for the Aztecs, San Diego Sports 760. Tonight, Dallas Cowboys, Philadelphia Eagles on 760. You'll listen to it here right after John and Jim. All right, let's get to it. We are doing the AFC winners.
We're not off to a good start.
No, it was a hiccup right away. Hopefully that's not going to lead to any of my picks being hiccups here. AFC division winners. Sammy, where do you want to start?
Let's go with the AFC East. Feels like the most self-explanatory division.
Bills.
Yeah, I don't think there's really anyone that comes close there. I do think that the division will be a little bit more interesting. The Bills are going to win the division by multiple games. I do think the Jets are being a little overlooked, and I wouldn't be surprised if they actually have a couple division losses, but the Bills are too talented.
A year ago, Bills had 13 wins, Dolphins 8, Jets 5, Patriots 4. I think the Jets and the Patriots have both gotten better this offseason. The Dolphins have stayed about the same, but the Bills win this division pretty easily, unless Josh Allen has a heart attack or something.
Yes, I think this is a very safe bet.
Which weirdly, I think Sammy would kind of love.
No, no, we want someone to be able to beat when all the hype's on the other team in the postseason.
All right, who's next?
Let's go to the AFC South.
I got the Texans winning this kind of easily. I have a feeling you're going to take the Jaguars to win this and upset the cart, but let's go through it. Texans had 10 wins last year. Colts had 8, Jags 4, Titans 3. Titans, Colts, you can almost eliminate from this discussion, but Jaguars, Texans, are you going Jags?
I'm going Jags. I placed it in Vegas, actually. I'm very excited about the Jaguars. They're kind of one of my surprise teams. I think people are a little bit too out on them. Remember a couple of years ago, they were the real sexy kind of pick, kind of like Houston. Some of these teams in year 2 after having a really good year 1. I think Trevor Lawrence finally has a couple receivers. Brian Thomas is there, Travis Hunter. The defense is a little bit of a concern, but I really feel like there's a bounce back in Jacksonville. They're not being talked about enough, and Houston just feels a little blah to me. I feel like they're a solid team. I don't see seeing CJ Stroud last year. I don't see the next level jump. I think he's a good quarterback, not a great quarterback.
I think CJ Stroud was hurt a lot of last season, and it wasn't super public. He had a shoulder injury he was dealing with. I think it lingered around for a long time. Reports are he's completely healthy. Nico Collins, I think, is the next superstar receiver in this league. He might already be there. He's just not talked about as much because he's the second team in Texas. But then you look at the running back situation. A year ago, it was Joe Mixon. I believe I have that right. This year, Nick Chubb, all reports is that he looks fantastic.
I think Woody Mark's going to take that job.
He might.
4th round pick.
But Nick Chubb is going to start off the year as the starter. And if he can turn back the clock a little bit to Nick Chubb from 2 years ago, watch out. Houston's going to be a serious power. Who's next?
AFC North.
AFC North. All right. Ravens won it last year, 12 wins. Steelers had 10. Bengals had 9. Browns had 3. This is a going with the heart pick. All right. I'm going to take the Bengals.
Okay.
I know that sounds bizarre. There's a lot of people out there taking the Steelers. Obviously, the Ravens are going to have a ton. I happen to think, and I don't feel great about this, that Lamar Jackson is not making it through this entire season.
Wow.
I don't know why. I just have a feeling in the back of my head that says that's going to happen.
Some voodoo or something? Like, what's
not
going on?
On purpose. I just think that this might be a year where the Ravens take a big step backwards because they're not being led by Lamar Jackson. He will be back in the future, and they will be fine. Joe Burrow is not going to let last year repeat itself. I think he's that type of leader. I think he's that type of dude. Joe Burrow is going to demand more out of the defense this year. Cincinnati's not going to have to score 50-something points just to win games, but even if they have to, I think they will. Watch out for the Bengals to win this division.
Okay, I'm going Baltimore. I actually think Baltimore is going to be playing Kansas City in the AFC Championship game. I think Baltimore is one of the most complete teams in the NFL, and I feel like Lamar finally has some receivers. Defense going to be stacked. I don't hate your Cincy pick. I could see it happening, but I do think Baltimore gets it done.
All right, AFC West, Sammy, we could just kind of phone yours in.
I go rolling my guys.
I'm also rolling with your guys. I think the Kansas City Chiefs are going to win this division. It's going to be closer than it's been in years past. I think the Chargers and Broncos both will be a little bit closer. You do have 3 double-digit win teams in this division once again this year. After last year, Chiefs had 15, Chargers had 11, Broncos had 10. I will say the Chiefs are going to win this division with 12 wins this year.
Okay.
12 wins.
I think that's fair.
Chiefs win it. I think Broncos and Chargers are both around that number. It's a close race down to the finish line, but Chiefs do just edge them out. So
what are your 3 wildcard teams?
3 wildcard teams. Let's go. Broncos 1, Chargers 2, both out of the same division.
Wow.
And look, man, I think the Ravens are going to miss the postseason. Give me Jags for my last one.
You got the Ravens missing the postseason.
I think Lamar gets hurt early, man.
Okay.
I don't know why I have this feeling, and you can blame me if it happens, but that's just in the back of my head.
All right, I got for wildcard teams, I got Pittsburgh making it. I got Cincy making it. I think 3 teams from the AFC North end up getting in. And I'm going to go with the Chargers. I think the Chargers do sneak in. I think the Broncos being a little bit overhyped. I think the Chargers are a very solid football team.
You haven't heard? Broncos are winning the Super Bowl. Everyone's saying it.
That's what it gives me massive pause. They have not beat a team over 500. I think the Chargers find a way to sneak in there. I think Cincy and Pittsburgh get into.
I'll tell you this, AFC is much harder to do this with than the NFC, which will be coming up at the end of the show today. But coming up next, Coach Kentera joins the show. It's San Diego Sports 760 live on the iHeartRadio app. The coach joins us like he does every Thursday at 1:30. Hey, it's Fletch for Prize Picks. Download the app today. Use promo code Fletch, and you can run your game all season with Prize Picks, the best place to get real money sports action here in California. Download the app and follow along with mine and Sammy's season-long football picks. Saquon Barkley, less than 1,400 rushing yards. Jaden Daniels, more than 3,424.5 passing yards. Ashton JT, more than 7.5 rushing touchdowns. Cortland Sutton, more than 875.5 yards. Jerry Jeudy, more than 3.5 receiving touchdowns. And Marvin Harrison Jr., more than 6.5 receiving touchdowns. That is up on my X account at Fletch Sports. You can find it there. Download the Prize Picks app. Play along with us. That's what we want. We want you to join in on the fun as we go through this football season together. Prize Picks is the best daily fantasy sports app I've ever played. I've tried them all. Prize Picks is the one I've stuck with since November of 2023. Download Prize Picks today. Use promo code Fletch because on Prize Picks, it's good to be right.
This report is sponsored by Cal Fire. The Padres will be back tomorrow against the Colorado Rockies. Kyle Freeland will be on the mound for the Rockies, while Nick Pivetta will be going for the Pods. And tonight, Cowboys, Eagles, live from Philly. Philly favored by 8.5 with the point total set at 47.5. Wildfires don't wait, neither should you. Go get your go bag ready, figure out your evacuation routes, and stay aware of alerts from local law enforcement. And when you need to evacuate, go right away. Learn more at readyforwildfire.org.
San Diego Sports 760. You're listening live on AM radio and the free iHeartRadio app. Every Thursday at 1:30, we are fortunate enough to be joined by the coach, John Kentera. And coach, the Padres at least gave us an off day here today so that we can watch some football tonight as the Eagles and the Cowboys get the season going. But how you doing, coach?
Doing well. I was telling Sammy earlier, I lost my phone last Friday night accidentally. It's somewhere out on the 5 freeway. That's a whole other story, but working on getting a new phone. So I'm using my wife's phone today for the interview.
That sounds great, coach. Your wife's phone sounds awesome. Were you just pissed driving down the road, throw it out the window?
No, we were on our way to a wedding and I had taken something out of the front seat and put it in the back and set my phone on the roof. And I didn't even think about it. And then, we heard this clunk while we were driving down the freeway. We got to the wedding and I'm all flustered because I can't find my phone. It's not in the car. We put that little tracking device, couldn't find it. And then all of a sudden I realized that little clunk on the roof of my car was my phone flying off into the Friday freeway traffic.
Coach, that's crazy. What about the Padres Dodgers? Padres obviously been flailing recently. What do you make of them getting swept from Baltimore? Dodgers haven't been that much better. Who's in a worse spot right now?
Well, neither one has shown they want to win the division title. I think the Dodgers are in a lot better shape though. With a 2.5 game lead, and that could go down to 2 after tonight, or it could go up to 3. What a matchup today at 3:40. It's going to be kind of the warm up for the NFL game at 3:40. You got Blake Snell going against Paul Skeens today, so that ought to be a good one. But I think the Dodgers, just because their starting pitching is really starting to come around. I know Ohtani got scratched yesterday, wasn't feeling up to pitching, but he still had a couple of more hits yesterday, and he's starting to find his stroke again. I think they're going to get Tommy Edman back this weekend. He's down rehabbing at OKC, and from my sources, they're telling me he should be activated probably on Saturday. I mean, there's a chance he could be activated tomorrow, but I think they were targeted the 6th of September. But that starting rotation coming around, their bullpen, they got to sort out a couple of guys in that bullpen that are still struggling. Tanner Scott and Kirby Yates are both having their problems. But Blake Treinen's throwing the ball real well. Vesey is starting a rehab assignment from an oblique. So I think they're sitting in pretty good shape right now. Padres, they got to figure out their rotation. They need to get Michael King back in there. And, I don't know exactly what's going on. I mean, we talked last week. We thought, heck, he's going to throw a simulated game on Friday. Originally, we thought he might start that game at Minnesota last Friday, but he threw a simulated game in Fort Wayne on Friday. He threw a bullpen on Monday, and Now we're waiting for his next bullpen, which I would imagine will be tomorrow, and then they're going to make a decision on exactly what they're going to do with him. But they got to get him back in there if he's healthy.
And they need him, and they need him to ramp back up before the postseason begins. So, Coach, let's go with this direction. If the Padres starting rotation keeps performing the same way it has over the last few weeks, what is their ceiling in the postseason?
Well, they may not get in the postseason. Okay. I mean, you got, I know Cincinnati's, I think, starting the day. I think they're 5 games back, if I'm not mistaken. But remember, when the Padres come home, they got Cincinnati for 3 at Petco. And I know they've got Colorado for another 4 at the end of next week. But also circle that schedule. When they go to New York, they got 3 games against the Mets. And the Mets are playing pretty good baseball. They got knocked off yesterday, but they're scoring a lot of runs right now. And they've got some pitching issues. But you know, they get into the postseason, they match up their top 3 guys in our bullpen. You know, it's a new season. October 1st, it's a new season, and anything can happen. You just got to get into the tournament. But, you know, Mike Schilt and AJ Preller, they want this team playing a whole lot better. And quite frankly, you know, this team did not play well in the month of August, and they're 2 big stars. I mean, Manny's got to play better, and Fernando's got to play better. And, you know, Manny's had a really nice year overall, statistic wise, but in the last 30 days, he's hitting .219 with 2 homers and 9 RBIs. And he hit that homer yesterday when they were down 7-0. And then Fernando over the last 30 days hitting .250, does have a .370 on base percentage, but he's only got 2 homers and 14 RBIs. So these 2 guys have got to start carrying their weight. They're not doing what the Padres signed them to do. And they're also 1-5 since Bogarts has been out of the lineup, and he's not coming back anytime soon if he comes back at all.
Coach, obviously it sucks on the Jason Adam injury. Who's got to step up in the bullpen and take his place, and how much does this really affect the bullpen moving forward?
Well, first of all, I want to compliment Jason Adam. Not only did he have a career year, make the All-Star team, what he did the other night after that game spoke a lot about who he is as a man. I don't know if you guys saw the interview, but he stood out in front of his cubicle in the clubhouse, you know, with a ruptured quad muscle and talked to the media. He didn't have to do that, and everybody would have certainly understood, but that tells you the type of guy he is. He's a complete team guy. Of what he told AJ Preller, I'm glad you went out and got Mason Miller. You know, I wish Jason Adam all the best, you know, guys. You know, I don't know if you know the whole story on him, but he's had 4 elbow surgeries. Back in 2021, he dislocated his left ankle and had to have surgery. So this is his 6th surgery he's had on his body that I'm aware of as a professional baseball player. And that injury the other night was gruesome. It was painful. And for that man to stand out in front of that cubicle and answer every last question the other night, man, you talk about gaining respect for a human being. And I already had respect. I heard he was a good guy, but that took it to a different level the other night. And I would, again, wish him and the family all the best.
That was one of the first things Sammy and I said the day after, Coach, was, yeah, you're losing the bullpen arm for the rest of the year, and that sucks. But according to everyone with the Padres, Jason Adams is one of the biggest parts of the Padres clubhouse and the locker room vibe that they've had. And I honestly think that the current way they're playing, something about it has to do with his leadership not being there, and that's a problem. And you got to look to someone else in that locker room to kind of step up. All right, Coach, before we let you go, when you're looking at this Padres offense, obviously Manny Machado, it feels like in big moments just hasn't really stepped up this year. Fernando Tatis Jr. has been a different player. Are you looking to get O'Hearn more regularly in the lineup? Because it seems like it hasn't been happening yet. And I'm curious what Mike Schilt's been thinking about that.
Well, O'Hearn, I mean, his numbers aren't great in a Padre uniform. 29 games, he's hitting .258 with 3 homers, 11 RBIs, but he's also had some really, really big hits of that .258 average. I like him in there. I like Sheets in there. You know, I said the other day, Jackson Merrill's got to kind of work his way back in. He didn't play on Monday night aside for pinch run for Will Wagner there in the 9th inning. He went 0 for 4 the first night, a strikeout, 3 ground ball outs the second yesterday. I think he had 1 line drive, but he's 0 for 7 since coming back. And, you know, it's obviously not been Jackson's year, stat-wise, health-wise. And right now, man, September 1st is come and gone, and we're getting ready to start a series tomorrow night in Colorado. You got to go with the hot hand. And Jackson Merrill's going to be a huge part going forward of this organization for many, many years. But right now, you're trying to get in the playoffs. You want to get the best seed you possibly can. You got to play the hot hand, whether it's Ryan O'Hearn, whether it's Gavin Sheets. The one guy that's been hot since he put a Padre uniform on, Ramon Laureano. How about 322, 950 OPS, 7 homers, and 24 RBIs in his time in a Padre uniform? And getting Freddie Fermin, he's had his struggles a little bit lately with the bat. But, man, I'll tell you what, he's done a great job behind the plate. He's come up with a couple of key bunts. And he had a couple doubles the other night. AJ, I'll tell you what, AJ Preller, he hit a home run because all these guys, for the most part, and Nestor Cortez was kind of an afterthought. They got him for next to nothing. He gave him a couple of good games, but he's obviously struggling. But the position players that AJ got, absolutely have come through and really, I think, bailed this team out and made them a whole lot better. Now if they get Manny and Tatis going, who knows what this team can do in the postseason once they get their pitching a little bit more sorted out.
Coach, quickly before we get you out of here, what NFL game are you most excited for this weekend?
Well, I think I want to see Philadelphia go against the Cowboys. We've heard so much about the Cowboys during training camp with Parsons, and of course Parsons not going to be with the Cowboys now. He's going to Green Bay. I'm looking forward to that. I'm going to check out YouTube tomorrow night. We got the big Kansas City Charger game, and I'm going. Hey boys, next week I'm going to the SC game on Saturday to see Georgia Southern. I know it'll be a blowout, but Clay Helton, the former SC coach, coaching at Georgia Southern, and me and my son-in-law, we're going to go up there and see the Trojans play at the old LA Memorial Coliseum. I'm kind of looking forward to that one.
That's very cool, Coach. And Aztecs put on a little bit of a show for you last Thursday, I guess. That was good to see, huh?
Oh, it was great. It was great to see you and JR out in the parking lot. Seeing JR brought back a lot of memories because I called a lot of his college football games. And you know what? I watched a little bit of the Washington State game the other night. I know they're on the road, and I know everybody will be lathered up and fired up there in Pullman. But this is a very, very winnable game. Don't turn the ball over. Force Washington State to panic a little bit. They won the other night on a 32-yard field goal with 3 seconds to go against Idaho. So, you know what? This is a winnable game. Let's go get it and go to 2-0.
From what I saw, Washington State's quarterback really struggled through the first 3 quarters and then really turned it on in the fourth. And we'll see if the Aztecs can kind of keep him under wraps. But I agree, very winnable game. Coach, appreciate you every single week. Thursdays at 1:30. That's when you hear the coach here. You can find him on YouTube at San Diego Sports Talk. Coach Kentera, you have a great weekend, my friend.
Hey, be well, Fletch. Have a great pre- and post game Saturday.
Yeah, can't wait for it. Coach Kentera, every week, Thursdays at 1:30. The text line is amazing. We're going to read them all coming up next. Plus, give you our NFC divisional winners. It's San Diego Sports 760 live on the iHeartRadio app. Hey, it's Fletch for Gary Cooper over at Mountain Trust Mortgage and Realty. Gary, I've gotten some questions and I'm curious myself. When somebody who listens to the show gives you a call at 858-376-1299, do you require them to bring documents?
If your information's off, then obviously the price it is. But I give you multiple options just in case your credit scores aren't 780 and maybe they're 760. I'm going to show you how that affects your pricing. So absolutely not. I know there's companies that still try to lock you in that way, but no, I can give you all the information up front without any obligation of a credit report nor an application.
Give Gary Cooper a call today. Get that degree in loanology. Call Gary at 858-376-1299 or visit him online at mountaintrustmortgage.com.
It's the most wonderful time
All
of the
right,
year.
time to rip through some of these texts before we get out of here. It's San Diego Sports 760. Ben Fletcher, Sammy Long with you for just a few more minutes. 949 texting in says, right now, I wish I could put the Padres on top of Coach Kentera's truck. That would fluster me easier the way that they are playing. Yes. 858, only sickos predict injuries.
Yeah, Fletch, that's a little weird,
Look,
dude. I'm not gonna lie.
I don't feel good about it. It's just what I think's going to happen. And Sammy and I pride ourselves on being honest. Hopefully it doesn't happen.
619 says Sammy's a smart man. Shout out to you, 619.
There's no context for that. I don't know if I believe it. It's probably sarcasm.
They said it. So 619 said it, so it must be real.
619, I woke up and took a big Spanos today. My colon thanked me. 619, where are you guys watching games this weekend? I smell an NFL watch party. I will be on my couch enjoying some Red Zone.
Maybe on maybe Sunday night. So 858 says Sunday night will be wild at the local and PB. It's a Bills bar, so win or loss, I'll go crazy. I don't think I'd be welcome in a Bills bar, but I have been to the local and PB.
They'd probably beat you up. 747, the Chargers beat one team over 500 last year. The Broncos, they have no wide receiver and lost their left tackle. They'll probably pick in the top 3 in next year's draft. The Broncos have a chance to win the AFC West as long as the Chiefs plane crashes, and it's a 3-team division. Love Spanos, best owner San Diego ever had.
LOL is what he said.
LOL. Yes, indeed. All right, let's rip through the NFC real quick. Let's just start with the NFC North. Sammy, your division winner.
NFC North, I'm going with the Lions. I think the Lions do win the division. I think a little bit too much has been made about the coordinators. I think they are still the best team, defense healthy. What about you, Fletcher?
I might take the Packers. I think the Micah Parsons thing makes big change in that division. Lions take a step back. Give me the Packers. I'm shocked you didn't go with the Bears.
Well, just wait.
NFC South?
NFC South, I'm going to go with the Atlanta Falcons. I think the Atlanta Falcons take down the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I think Atlanta, Michael Penix is going to have a big year this year.
My boy Baker is going to be a chef in the kitchen. Tampa Bay Bucks winning again. NFC West.
We're going with the LA Rams. I mean, who else would we pick?
49ers, not even close. NFC East, Eagles won it last year. They are the odds-on favorite again this year. Does anyone upset them?
No, Philly. So we're only aligned on one division.
I also got the Commanders winning the NFC East. So
wait, you got the Commanders from the NFC East?
Eagles take a big step backwards this year. Not tonight though. They win the game tonight. Final score of tonight's game.
I'm gonna go 31-28 Philly.
I like rain, wind. Give me 21-10 Philly.
Oh, wow. So they're covering. What's your wild card teams?
My wild card teams in the NFC are going to be the Philadelphia Eagles, the Los Angeles Rams, and the Detroit Lions.
Okay. I'm going Chicago. I think Chicago's the 5 seed, has a really big year, but does get beat out by Detroit for the division. I think Washington ends up making it one of the most talented quarterbacks in this whole conference, could be the most talented. And for number 7, going back and forth, I'm gonna roll with I'm gonna do a shocker. I'm gonna go Arizona. I think sneaks in. I think
so you got the 49ers missing the postseason.
I do have the 49ers,
and you're dead to me.
949 says Sammy, this is Chiefs Kingdom time. Chiefs win the Super Bowl. Let's go.
When
949.
hasn't it been Chiefs Kingdom's time for the last 5 years?
949.
Time for somebody else.
Together.
I don't think the Chiefs make the AFC Championship game this year.
Really? So who's making the AFC Championship game?
Bills, Ravens. No, sorry. I got the Ravens missing the postseason.
Oh, yeah. You don't even know your own picks. What is going on here?
Bills, Texans.
And then who goes to Super Bowl?
Bills.
Okay. And the NFC, who's going?
Niners.
The Niners are going to the Super Bowl.
And winning the Super Bowl.
The Niners are beating the Bills in the Super Bowl.
Niners are winning the Super Bowl. Lock it in for the first time in over 30 years. The San Francisco 49ers will hold up that Lombardi. Brock Purdy, the Super Bowl MVP. And
this is...
Please keep listening to me. I love you all.
This is genuinely not me being a homer. I genuinely put money on Chiefs beating the Rams in the Super Bowl. I think Patrick comes back with a vengeance.
We had a whole conversation before the show that we wouldn't even give our Super Bowl picks because we're such sickos. This is legitimately how we
mine
think.
Could actually happen. That's the thing that's like different about ours.
See you tomorrow, Sammy. See everyone out there tomorrow. Have fun tonight. Watch the game. Enjoy the game. If you drink, don't drive. We'll see you tomorrow at San Diego Sports 760. John and Jim coming up next.